Inoue, stop ducking me. One fight, Uzbek power coming.
He said that he was ready for the monster.
He just seems to have Akhmadaliev right there.
Then called him a coward, fruad, and a ducker.
It's not been called once, it's been called twice by the WBA. The first time they paid for an exception to duck MJ. The second time was cast iron, in writing. He had to fight him. They found a way to avoid it again.
Inoue missed there with the right hand. A few seconds.
But what followed was just pure chaos.
And that's MJ.
There he does it again. Same combination.
See that left hand too. Jolt Akhmadaliev.
The stage was set for both fighters to brawl it out. The monster Inoue was the WBC, IBO, WBA, and IBF champion. Meanwhile, Murodjon was the WBA super bantamweight champion. It was not just a title fight anymore, it was all about legacy. Naoya was the undefeated champion, while MJ was only defeated once in his professional career. MJ had defeated his previous 3 opponents with a TKO, and he was on a 3-win streak.
First couple of rounds, he was really...
There he goes.
Of the dial that Akhmadaliev could make something happen in there.
He is known for his heavy punches that hit like a bomb and lightning-fast uppercuts that break any defense.
See that one single bomb, that's...
Oh, there was the uppercut!
Meanwhile, Naoya is a legendary boxer with 31 professional fights, 31 wins, and 0 losses. He holds 5 world titles and is the only one to ever do it. However, in his last couple of fights, Naoya was forced to take the knee. First by Luis Neri.
Neri right now doesn't seem spooked by the punching power. Oh! There it is! Inoue, go!
And then Ramon Cardenas became the second person to do it.
With him against the Cardenas catches him!
But Naoya is the only monster in this game, and he beat both of them up.
Right hand, he's in trouble again! Here in this 8th round, it's all Inoue, and it's all over! Inoue!
Body. Finally, Naoya Inoue and MJ Akhmadaliev came face-to-face with each other on September 14th, 2025 for a 12-round brutal battle. Before the fight, MJ was looking confident, or you can even say arrogant. He was talking shit about Naoya, but when he entered the ring, it was not the same MJ that everyone saw outside the ring. MJ tries to mount pressure on the champion, but Naoya is not going easy on him anymore. Naoya lands some good shots trying to shatter MJ's stance, but Akhmadaliev keeps his distance from the monster to look for some counterattacks.
Point to let him know it is monster time. Now the tagline, only one of these people is right in there, and an MJ since Michael Jackson's Thriller video.
The ability to close ground in an instant, just the foot speed to step into that.
Yeah, and you'll see Akhmadaliev has the physical strength. In every fight in his career, that advantage is gone to segments to him that no matter how good you are, people can't quite prepare.
Very not the case here tonight, but even against Adrian Kim, not exactly.
Yeah, one of the questions I had going into this fight.
The first round was not as electric as the audience wanted it to be because the monster was holding back. He was allowing MJ to show himself and his stances so he could counterattack in the upcoming rounds.
Right, so how do you reconcile this apparent early throw?
Akhmadaliev says, let's see how Inoue reacts when I hit him for the first time. Good left hook there from Inoue. Akhmadaliev.
The bell rings for the first round, but Naoya gives Akhmadaliev a death stare at the ending, meaning that the fight is on in the next round. Round 2. In round 2, the story was pretty similar. MJ was trying to keep his distance from Naoya, while the monster was closing in on the distance real quick.
In the second round, that Akhmadaliev is in a rhythm, Morgan, when he is landing onto the body.
Yes. You see Akhmadaliev probing. Inoue answers with his chin offer.
Naoya was still holding back. The monster wasn't even going full power yet. He just wanted to enjoy the fight, test MJ's durability, push this cocky fighter to his absolute limits before finishing him off. But MJ proved to be a way tougher opponent than anyone expected.
Perceived gap in terms of overall athleticism, as you said, but quickness.
Yep.
Good right hand to the body from Inoue.
Whenever MJ tried to look for a counterattack, he was met with the sheer brutal force of Naoya's devastating punches. Every time this bastard thought he found an opening, Naoya would shut that shit down immediately with vicious precision. That gut punch almost shattered MJ's liver completely, sending shockwaves through his entire body.
Well, Akhmadaliev's other problem too, when Akhmadaliev tries to answer these quick punches from Inoue.
After that, Naoya starts taunting the arrogant fighter and scares him by faking his attacks.
Akhmadaliev, like most fighters, high-level fighters, are used to people that can...
And Akhmadaliev, the staunch belief, if that is the case, it would take...
Round 2 had less punishment for Akhmadaliev, and he also tried to fight back, but he was mostly punching the air.
Now, round 3.
Begins, and as you saw in the replays, it worked to work his way to the inside.
The problem is the price is paying to get close. Like leaning in.
Round 3. Round 3 started off pretty strange. Instead of going all out on MJ like the bastard was expecting, Naoya completely switched up his game plan. The monster started maintaining his distance, hanging back instead of rushing in with that suffocating pressure everyone knew him for. He was trying to make MJ lower his guard, lure this cocky fighter into thinking he could breathe for a second, get comfortable. But anyone who knew the monster knew what was coming next. But Akhmadaliev knew this very well, so he also went on the defensive straight away, but Naoya broke through his defense.
Muscle mass, even at 122 pounds. Functional, he's the guy doing kettlebell swings on him. He's also doing weighted vest runs in the snow. So and Inoue,
Free magazine earlier. What is best? My body is my weapon.
You saw him land that Canelo Alvarez a short sequence. That was his best sequence of the fight.
Hand downstairs, daring Akhmadaliev. Seconds will tick away in the round.
Determined not to walk into another counter left hand. Not this fight, not like in the...
Round 4. In round 4, Naoya takes a 360-degree turn and goes on the offense straight away. He starts throwing bombs, jabs, and anything that would make Akhmadaliev taste the floor.
Changing his level, taking away Morgan that route to the body.
Yes. Quote in Ring Magazine this week saying his body is his weapon. And here's that Akhmadaliev thinks is...
Rather than his body being a weapon, his body is a target.
Yes.
Naoya even started taunting MJ, dropping his hands completely and showing his chin for a clean shot. The monster was practically begging this bastard to throw something meaningful. But MJ didn't take the bait. The rascal was too scared of the monster to even try going for the kill. He just stood there, frozen, maintaining his distance like some amateur who suddenly realized he was in way over his head. All that pre-fight confidence evaporated.
It's the problem is Inoue still gets the last word.
Dancing. It forces you to be honest on all of these feints
Yes.
as well.
Inoue just seems to have Akhmadaliev body attack for...
That big right on Akhmadaliev's head almost makes him go dark, and the Cry starts swinging his fists wildly.
But Inoue, this world title fight.
Round 5. Nothing had changed by now. Naoya was still coming in hot, and Akhmadaliev had no response to his attacks. He was just dodging Naoya, trying to evade the spirit realm.
Morgan, it is perhaps signs from Akhmadaliev in that round in this fight.
Yeah, I don't... Because of the disparity in the other way right now.
Akhmadaliev tries to double it up. Back for in.
Yeah, that might be his best way back into this fight, Corey. His chances on catching Inoue during an exchange.
Suddenly, Akhmadaliev started shifting the tide. He He started landing some good shots, and for the first time in the entire fight, MJ finally found his rhythm, throwing punches with actual conviction and forcing the monster to respect his power. For a brief moment, it looked like MJ might actually have a chance at pulling off the upset. The monster absorbed those shots, barely flinching, and immediately started his own vicious counterattack.
Acknowledging one another. It's like we're playing a game of cower shots right now. There from Akhmadaliev, he has most success here in this round.
Yes, or it's taking on the rhythm of a glory kickboxing match. I go, you go, I go.
At every other point in their career would feel very confident about it. And right now,
in that rhythm, each guy is confident.
Final round of the fight thus far for Akhmadaliev. Would you have scored for him or not?
And Inoue missed there with the right hand. That sequence at all.
Fantastic left hook. Thrown into Akhmadaliev, trying to come right back. Impactful is that sweeping left hook, but replied nonetheless as Inoue walks him into another right hand.
After some brutal beatdown by the monster, Naoya was looking strong in the fight once again. He was jabbing, swaying, and closing in on MJ all at once, giving this bastard absolutely no breathing room at all. Naoya was everywhere. His jabs kept snapping into MJ's face, his head movement made him impossible to counter, and his footwork was cutting off every escape route.
Tempo really picking up here. One final right hand.
Akhmadaliev with a hated jab. Just missing with that roundhouse left. Here's Inoue back to doing what he does. Lands that left hook, whiplashes. Akhmadaliev says, there's that sequence return. Probably the best sequence of the round. And again, that has Naoya Inoue. That might be the exact hate when you go to the club and somebody's doing the exact same thing as you.
Crowd getting a little bit more vocal.
Round 6, Naoya was still taking MJ as non-seriously as before. He was taunting him constantly, dropping his guard and sticking his chin out, practically begging this scared bastard to throw something meaningful. The monster wanted MJ to at least try, to show some balls and commit to a real attack, but MJ wasn't having any of that. The rascal was too terrified of the monster to take any risks, because deep down he knew the truth. The spirit realm was just one punch away from him. One clean counter from Naoya, and his lights would go out permanently.
Anyway, back on that jab.
Inoue planting his feet at times.
Suddenly, things started to get brutal.
Hook there from Akhmadaliev. A downward arcing hook for him. There it is again.
And it's effective when people try to put on the earmuffs, as we've seen. But again, here's Inoue just answering back.
The body of Akhmadaliev.
After that sudden counterattack by Akhmadaliev, Naoya got pissed and decided to teach the punk a lesson.
I lost count, Corey. That was at least 6 shots to the body.
Akhmadaliev has his brief moments, but back comes the monster. More bodyguard from Inoue.
The bell barely saves Akhmadaliev from further punishment, but it won't be long because Naoya has already decided the fate of this fight. Round 7. The fight gets brutal and brutal as it progresses, as Naoya starts dismantling MJ Akhmadaliev. He gets more aggressive with each passing second, and in round 7, things took a funny turn.
Take his chances as he goes right.
Instead of going for the finish, Naoya spends the round just trying to mock the big mouth of MJ. He said that he would finish Naoya, but even with his chin hanging out wide open, MJ was traumatized from the previous round. so he didn't even try while Naoya kept toying with him.
Yourself. You know, Inoue is afraid of it. Now it's done, but just this one big psychological emotion.
The question is, does he still have that? Clearly, Inoue is not going to back down. He's impervious to every shot that Akhmadaliev. Inoue dancing in and out at long range. Certainly, Akhmadaliev made it a little more accessible for Inoue. But again, this is an exceptional.
He's big and he's strong, but he's not. And then when he counters you, he gets going. Which is another of his problems tonight, is that Inoue's not making that many mistakes. He can't bait him.
Just like the rest, Naoya dominates the round as well, landing some clean and critical shots on the cocky fighter who has forgotten his game plan and is just now sticking to survive.
And we can't forget like what he did tonight and how near unbeatable Koshiju was. But let's not just focus on those two high-profile fights that he lost against all time. Ran through the 140-pound division and was, if not a favorite, like
MJ Akhmadaliev. Akhmadaliev running into many of the same issues Inoue's opponents have run into. How do you continue, Morgan, coming up with it?
In round 8, MJ tried to turn the tide of this brutal fight. He came out swinging with everything he had left, trying to use pure brute force to overwhelm the monster and catch him off guard. But Naoya bounced back immediately. The monster absorbed those power shots, weathered the storm without breaking, and fired back with his own devastating combinations. MJ's desperate attempt at a comeback lasted all of 10 seconds before Naoya reminded him why nobody beats the monster.
Game planning for this speed, like you can game plan for it, but to prepare for speed in real time is something different.
Body shot there from Inoue. Wicked left hook. Starting to develop mainly underneath the right eye of right hand of Akhmadaliev.
Yes.
Wobbling just a little.
A furious combination almost shakes Akhmadaliev, and he starts reconsidering his life decisions. It was at this moment that he knew he was in the wrong ring with the wrong animal.
What Mike Tyson did. Inoue relishes.
Rounds 9 to 12 and ending. Although MJ had a pretty good round, Naoya's reflexes were on point. Naoya quickly bounced back and threw some devastating blows that almost shattered MJ's skull. It looked as if Naoya's speed was just too much for the cocky fighter to handle, and he still couldn't keep up with the pace of the monster.
Coaching staff had had 2 fights in a row to try to...
Here the Diaz brothers telling Akhmadaliev, you need to move a little more. Mentioned swelling starting to pile up underneath both eyes.
Because of who he is, he is in front of Inoue. He's not going to score points from the not the way the fight's been going. And you can hear...
For the whole round, you could hear Akhmadaliev's corner screaming for him to jab, but the scared MJ didn't even try. He just kept moving forward with no offense, while Naoya punished him whenever he tried to get closer. Naoya even taunted MJ after the combination, showing him how it's done in real time.
One thing we know about Inoue too is that the punching power has come with him up through the way. The last person to go the distance with him was Nonito Donaire, when Nonito busted his arm.
People forget that even down the stretch in that
You see that uppercut? Just
there.
snuck that in.
This is a stat that Al Antonio likes to reference. Hard right hand right down the pipe there from Inoue. Courtesy of Akhmadaliev, there was a left hook to the body. There he does it again.
Yeah, jolt Akhmadaliev.
Naoya was really enjoying his fight as it moved on. To round 10, Naoya landed some pretty good shots in the 9th round, and even when he was cornered, MJ was scared to go all out, and Naoya punished him with a brutal uppercut. However, the cocky fighter still dared to challenge the monster, and he was not ready for what was coming. In the next round,
there's that big left hook. round by round, you see more and more swelling on Akhmadaliyev's
Face of Inoue, you're starting to see more scarier than an angry monster. A happy monster is bad news. Yeah, has 3 rounds to make something happen.
Naoya was dancing in the 10th round, feeling like he was in a playground with no fear in his eyes. He was smiling, taunting, and punching the shit out of Akhmadaliev while the poor fighter just stood there for his ultimate punishment.
Ready, I empathize.
Find it here.
No.
Counter, but it's a nice shot there.
Yes. He's all 3 at the same time. Last. Seen him down. He's adjusted within the fight. And the shot that dropped him never lands again. And I think Akhmadaliev came into this fight thinking he can.
Of openings, as he did earlier.
Yes.
Parking himself on the ropes, but
Finally, Akhmadaliev gets into his senses and lands some good shots, but it is already too late for a comeback. And once the bell rings, only the monster will come out as victorious.
You have it because he's rolled with that punch.
Inoue fight go to the scorecard.
Yes.
Is a possibility here in this one. Much and as flush hurt.
Yeah, he's... Akhmadaliev is... But again, he has to calculate the cost of being beat. He's not going to be able to pull it off against Inoue. He's always ready with the counter.
You know, there are less than 4 minutes remaining in the fight.
Yeah.
Beautiful counter left hook. These are the as he would normally. Shot there from Inoue, climbs the ladder and lands one.
The second last round goes by fast, as Naoya was just trying to time pass with the amateur fighter. But in the end, a quick shot to the face of Akhmadaliev leaves him pissed.
For the better part of 3 years to capitalize on.
And what you heard in Akhmadaliev's corner between rounds, Corey, was desperation. And it's amazing how profoundly an attitude can shift over the course of 33 minutes. Because on the way into this fight, it was this guy's afraid of you. He's been ducking you for 2 years. So Uzbekistan. When they're saying do it because they're out of practical answers.
Yeah, and anyone scoring at home would think that this is particularly close, but
no, this should be Akhmadaliev. But again, it's just what he thought was, here's a guy that's scared of me. And he learned it. And again, stakes.
not presenting too many glaring openings yet in which he needs a knockout.
That's another test. Akhmadaliev knows he needs a knockout, but he's still playing defense. He wobbled in there.
Oh, goodness, he found the shot. Will it be too late? Akhmadaliev found the shot.
For a split second, everyone was shocked when they saw the combination by Akhmadaliev. Naoya was on wobbly legs, but he barely managed to survive and got away. After almost killing each other, the two fighters hug it out, and everyone already knew who had won this fight.
110, all three, the undisputed super flyweight champion of the world, Naoya, the Monster.
Naoya reigned supreme in the end, but it was a shocker for everyone because it's not normal for any fighter to survive all 12 rounds with the monster and still walk out on both feet.